Hi, how you doing? Hope you're well and safe and having a great day. My day's going pretty well as always. Loving it in the studio. Can't get enough in here, so really enjoying it. I've been looking at Corel Essentials. This is version 8. I did look at it way back in version 6, so I thought it's time to take another look at it. Corel Essentials is the trimmed down version, the full-blown Corel Painter. Well, it's Corel Painter 2021 at the minute, I think, but it costs literally 1/10 of the price. It's about 35 UK pound to buy. So I thought it might be an interesting entry-level option. So I thought I'd give it a go. I'm going to look at the oil paints, which is this one here, and then I'm going to look at watercolors and maybe the drawing tools in different videos. But this is my first delve into it. Is it worth throwing £35 at, or are you better off with, say, Krita, which is free? Let's just watch the video and then you can make up your own minds. I thought I would give Corel Painter Essentials a try. It's a trimmed down version of the full package and it only costs £35.99. I've downloaded the trial, so let's get into it and have a little look. The first thing I would say is, I've not used it at all. This is just opened it up. The splash screen opens and the full application opens on my main monitor, and usually when you open a piece of software, drag it onto my Cintiq and then enlarge it. If I close it down, it will always open up on this monitor, and it doesn't. I've not been into create a painting or anything yet. I've just opened it a few times and I can't drag the splash screen over onto the Cintiq to show you what it says. But basically I've got a 16 days left to purchase this. You have to register it when you get it, so you have to give them an email address, and I'm just going to close that down. So I'm going to do a painting, and I thought I'd try this because it's so cheap, and I did try Essentials 6, so that was a fair few years ago. Choose an image. So I'm just wondering if I can just drag this image into there, or have I got to browse for it? Doesn't look as though I can drag it in. I'm going to have to browse. It's okay. Put it in Corel Painter, in a folder called Corel Painter. Let's just open that. And there we go. It sized my canvas to fit that image. Can I? Is this? Oh, this is for photo painting. It's got the old photo painting techniques where you can, I guess, get it to paint automatically. So it's now preparing auto paint. I just clicked on the start button. I just want to have a quick look at that. Oh my god, I'm redundant. So there's that, I guess. So I don't want to go down the route of looking at the photo painting thing, so I'm going to create a new canvas just to show you how this works. I've set my unit to inches, and I've got a width of 16, height of 20, 300 dots per inch, so all pretty standard. I can change the canvas colour if I want, so I can go for a sort of a creamier colour, off-white, might be quite nice. Close that. And I've chosen, it says paper, but I've gone through these canvases and selected that one that looks like a canvas. And we zoom in, can we see the canvas? We can't really yet. I've flicked off from photo painting, gone to mixer, And now I'm looking at the brushes, and we've got digital watercolor, glazing, acrylics and oils. I'm thinking I'm going to do an oil painting. This is the scene I'm going to use. So broad cover brush, that sounds reasonable. Is it square bracket to size your brush? It is. That seems to be going up. Yeah, that's okay. I wonder how you mix colours here. I think you just choose a colour off here. So okay, let's go in for sort of a warmish blue. Now zoom in, canvas. Oh yeah, we can see the canvas look. That's cool. Not convinced about the brush just yet. It's a bit bigger. Got the same issue as you have with Corel Painter 2020. The square brush does tend to lag a bit if you use the brush size tends to lag a bit if you use the square brackets. Just sort of getting a bit close. So I'm just going to see if I can. I know somebody gave me a key combination for resizing brushes really quick, and I forgot. Sorry, I forgot what it is. I quite like this, I have to say, as a way of using colour. This feels a little bit more like watercolour on a canvas, maybe. You know what? I'm just gonna. I do like. I'm so used to using this, picking like blue greens and so on. So Alt key picks your colour. I'm really thinking in terms of Corel Painter paying like £300 it is for the full version. Or is this going to do what you want? So I'm intending to do maybe 2 or 3 videos on this one. I've got 16 days to do this, but sort of look at the oil painting, look at the watercolor, maybe the sketching, and see how it compares to the full version, which is 10 times the price. I'm going to change this broad cover brush. It's all right, but it's a bit too severe. Real wet brush. I wonder what that does. Is that going to create a new layer with it being a real brush? Doesn't seem to want to do anything. Well, I don't know what happened there. I had to basically, in the end, I had to shut the app down and open it up again, and now everything seems to be working. And this real filbert brush seems to be applying paint okay. So I am back in business. Yeah, but I'm not going to use that real filbert. I'm going to go. I'm going to try the plumpy brush. Just don't. I think this other colour here. This colour that I first applied looks like it's been airbrushed on, and that's not where I'm at. Not where I want to be. So these colours are blending together okay, which is quite nice. That's probably better. I'm going to take the opacity down a bit. You haven't got lots of features to change on the brush. It appears that's not something I can change. We've just got opacity, grain, and size. I don't see anything else there. Again, it feels a little bit, this is feeling a bit digital. Let's try a different brush. Dry bristle, let's try this one. I'm just working away until I come up with a brush that I think I'm liking, and it gives me that nice effect I'm after. This is a bit better, it blends nice. Yeah, let's yeah, I'm feeling that a bit better. So, like I say, I've never used this before. I've just opened it up and just seen what I can do without really exploring it too much. Just going through different brushes. Come on, I'm avoiding the fine brushes just at the minute because I'm not doing detail work. This do. That's sort of much finer kind of strokes. If I zoom in, you can see. Really, what I'm looking for. It does say glazing, so real wet brush. I'll tell you what. I'm going to stick. I'm going to come back to these, but I'm going to stick with this dry bristle just to get some colour over the all of the canvas right now. Some yellow in the yellowy grass. I do like a nice lime green for me grass as well. Got big. I've just made it huge just to sweep that in there. I quite like it as a big brush. Wow. Now that's better than when I was using it as the small. Sort of put this path in. Whoops. What's going off here? Touching the wrong key. I'd got my finger on the Windows button then. That's the problem when you're not looking at keyboard. Let's get some of these grasses in. Beginning to feel it a bit. So we've got layers sorted. We can use layers. wonder if it's got any blend modes. I should really be looking at some of the features as well as just how the brushes perform. I'll have a look in a second. Yeah, it's beginning to take shape. So layers. Let's create a new layer. New layer. Layer commands. What have we got? Collapse layers, drop selected layers, drop all layers to canvas. So that would pop it onto that canvas. And blend modes. Yeah, we've got all the blend modes going off. Gel colorize, normal, multiply, screen, pseudo color. I need to know what that is. Let's just oh, okay. So I've got a white yellow color, and it's made that blue. Quite interesting. It's almost making the complementary color. If I choose a blue, is it going to go yellow? No, it's staying that. Does if I choose a red, does it stay that? No. That's interesting. So anyway, you've got the layer functions to play around with. Oh, I've still got red selected. Whoops. Which is interesting. Let's change the brush because I kind of got most of the canvas covered. So wet, oily brush. Let's try that. Just sticking with the nice, vibrant colours and the lights. Oh, that's nice. Zooming in so you can see. If I choose something with a bit darker, you can see the brush strokes a bit better. I liked it when I was just painting the subtle colour over the top. That works really nice. I'm not so convinced otherwise, because I can sort of blend in with that nicely. Okay, I ought to get this canopy. Entered in. Let's go there. I like that it picks the colours up and you get this sort of dirty colour. So about halfway, this canopy goes just over halfway. Right there. I appreciate that my canvas is different to the photo size, so I've got to bear that in mind. Because I've not used this software before, I should really be perhaps saving it a bit more regular than I am, because I don't know what it's going to do. I've already had one issue where it sort of crashed on me. Well, it didn't crash on me, just stopped working. Such. wonder if it's got alpha lock. Perhaps I should have a look for that as well. Oh. Oh, there's my phone dinging. Don't know what that's all about. That brush a bit bigger again. I know we've got this sort of dark tree behind this bandstand, but to be honest with you, I think I need to keep it there. I think it certainly adds something. Red flowers in. Oh, made that a bit small. Just painting into that. I'm using the wet oily brush. This one's quite nice. It doesn't feel like Corel Painter, to be honest, other than the sort of, it's got this sizing of the brush thing which seems to take forever. But that's my fault because I'm not taking time to learn the correct keys, the key combination to size the brush. I should probably really do that. I've got to think how I'm going to do this this light coming through the bandstand. It's raining. We're not having the best summer this year, I have to say. It's coming together. It's beginning to feel it. Wow. Torrential rain. It does say these are acrylics and oils, and to be honest, they feel a lot more like acrylic than they do oils. Just going to kind of try and sculpt in a few leaf shapes now. So I forgot to switch the recorder on for a while, and you didn't miss anything because I didn't like what I'd done, and I've sort of just painted this area back in again. So, but in the meantime, I did discover a few brushes that might be interesting to look at, and some blenders as well. I've not tried the blender yet, but we've got this coarse oil blender, and I'm just going to give it a quick try just to see what this can do. So I can push colours backwards and forwards, lighter pressure, we get more of a blend. So that's quite interesting. So what I thought I would do, instead of hopping back between blenders and acrylics and oils, and there's a few artist brushes that might be interesting to look at, the Sargent and the Van Gogh. I can pop that open. Let's go to acrylics. I like that broad brush cover, so just hold the shift key down. I can drag that over here and create a custom palette. It says custom 2 because I've already made one, but then I deleted it. And I like that dry bristle. That's a nice brush. Let's copy that one across as well. So oh, that's 2. Fine camel I wasn't too inspired by. The wet oil brush, I'm going to put that in, and at the same time the wet soft acrylic. I think they'll probably do me for what I want. Let's go to the blenders. I'm just going to take, I mean there's lots of blenders, but I'm just going to take that coarse oily blender. So this is, you know, a sort of a typical feature in Corel Paint 2020. I'm glad to see they put this in. It's a great way of organising your brushes and tools. Don't know, can you copy the text in there as well? No, you can't. There might be other ways to add it. And then let's just go to those artist brushes and drag the Sargent brush in and the Van Gogh brush in. That'll do. So I've got a set of brushes now. I'll tell you what else I could do. Erasers. I'm just looking at the a loaded palette knife. That might be interesting. Let's just see what that does. I'll put that in as well. I'll put that next to the blender. So I've got a set of tools there I can use, and I'm going to start painting again. So let's go. Let's try this wet soft acrylic brush. Picking the colour off there. Just size it up a bit. I had a look, by the way, to see if I could find actually doing anything. Yes, it is. If I could find a way of finding what the shortcut keys were, and I went to edit and preferences, and I couldn't find anything. Nothing at all. So I don't know if there are options for changing shortcuts, but I've not been able to find any. So so this is acting like a blender, isn't it? This this soft wet acrylic. Almost. You can blend in with that quite nice. Not that I particularly want to do any blending. Maybe I might want to just sort of push these colours around a bit. Might be quite fun. I could use that blender actually. Actually, this acrylic brush feels nicer for that. sort of soften that back a bit, just to push that around. Just experimenting, really. So, let's try the Sergeant brush. I'm interested to see what this will do. There is a Sergeant brush in full version of Corel Painter. I don't know if it's the same. It probably is. Let's just sort of, actually that leaf does come more like that. I just thought I'd sketch these in just to give me, last time I painted them, I just went completely off the mark. I don't know what I was doing really. So I'm just giving myself a little bit of a fighting chance. Let's make that brush really big. And if you put pressure, not too much pressure. Put pressure on, you get a much thicker stroke, obviously. If you put loads of pressure on, you get a really thick stroke. So is that. I think I've chose a different tool there somehow. Does this look like close up? Is it painterly? It is, isn't it? It's got a nice sort of painted feel to it. And you can get some really thin strokes look going off. It doesn't take much pressure just to beef them up a bit. So 1 minute I've got a thick stroke, and then I can almost draw. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm kind of quite liking that. Put this leaf in. Let's see what we get. Because it's all about the thick strokes, isn't it? Really, rather than the thin, wispy ones. Don't know. I can certainly paint more defined lines with that. If that's, if you're going for that kind of look. Oops, got to be a little bit careful with the pressure. I've got a feeling the Van Gogh brush for this painting isn't going to work. I'll just try it, just so you can see what. Oh look, that's kind of putting on 2 or 3 colours. So we could totally transform this painting with the Van Gogh. I'm not going to do that though. That's not really what I'm trying to achieve. This brush still feels a bit weird. I'm going to go with the, what's this? Wet. Turn up the grain. I've not even played with the grain. Let's see what that does. I'm trying to get a brush that'll, you know, gives you a really nice effect. We can put on one stroke and leave it. Oh, that's nice. I made the brush a bit big. Let's just make it a bit smaller. This might be it. Yeah, that's nice. Gives us a nice painterly. Put some shadows behind that. Into this tree here. Use that blender to soften them off a bit. That brush, wasn't it? What I do like about it, when you brush size, it remembers where you was at. Right, I think I'm just going to crack on with the painting a little bit because I don't want this to be take forever. So I've come back in again now. I've kind of pretty happy with how the leaves are going, I suppose. I have to say the brushes in the oil painting, because I haven't tried the watercolour or the pencils or anything else like that, they're not the best I've used. It doesn't appear to be that there's any controls to make too many adjustments on the brushes. They are adequate, but to be honest, I've used comparable price really. Critter, I know Critter is a free app, but the Digital Atelier brushes, which you do have to buy, and the last time I looked, they was sort of around the £20 mark, which still makes it about a third cheaper than buying this out. You know, if you install Critter for free and bought the Digital Atelier brushes, they to me feel a lot better than using this, to be honest. But I'm interested to get to try the watercolors as well. They feel very mechanical. They don't feel organic, and sort of struggling to get a really nice brush stroke type feel to it. Really got to sort out these keys for the brushes as well. So yeah, they're not it's not my favourite app I've ever used, but it is only £30 odd. But then again, Critter is free, so you know you can make your own mind up of that. Let's create a new layer so I can get that in. I suppose for me that is the starting point. I think, right, okay, Critter's free. How does it compare with that? And that's pretty much every app, you know. How does that compare with Critter? And you know, if it doesn't, it's not as good. Is it money well spent? But I think the make or break for me will be just checking out the watercolors. Perhaps I'll do that next time. I know. It's just occurred to me. I've painted this bench before. And I'm wondering if I've painted this scene before. I don't think I have. I was really surprised that it had got the feature in it to make a photo painting. And I guess if you're not into painting and you just want to produce a photo, you know, a painterly like photo, it might be well worth you buying the application just for that, you know. These people are walking out of the scene, and I wouldn't normally say do that, but to be honest with you, I think it looks, in this instance, it's okay. Now I am on a second layer now, so I can, if I make mistakes, rub this out. And oops, so that leg should come down to there. That one comes down to there, which means that's a little bit longer. Yeah, that's okay. Get the guy in. Stylish beard. Got him a bit close to her, haven't I? But that just means he loves her more. I'm not going to change it now. I wonder what they would have thought if they'd have known what was round the corner. And I don't mean round the corner of this path. I kind of mean like the looming doom that is COVID that was awaiting them and everybody else, you know? Why have I done this? Why? Kind of needs to be a bit. Oh dear. Yeah, you know. But they would have. I'm not saying they took the walk for granted. I'm not saying that, but they would have probably cherished it a lot more if they knew what was coming. Sometimes, Steve, your figures leave something to be desired. Darker. Actually, that's more like that, isn't it? Let's rethink this. You know, I could zoom in, couldn't I? Give myself a fighting chance. Let's just do that a bit. I quite like that actually. Tip of the brush a bit smaller. So it's not something I would be rushing out to purchase this one. I don't think. Do I need the beard? You know what? I don't know if I need that beard. Does it add anything? I don't know. Just get some shadows on them a little bit. Go. Nice little couple there. Do I need to move them across a bit? What do you think? Comments, please. Do you think that that couple look good there, or should they be? Should I be following the rules of thirds and you know the golden rule and all of that stuff? Just going to pop a bit of a shadow on the grass, and then it's going to go onto the path. Kind of like that. Onto it here as well. Just because I can. Just anchors them to the ground a bit, doesn't it? Notice and very rarely do I bother putting feet in paintings. I don't know why that is. Just feels unnecessary. Lobbing in some colour for flowers. I'll make the brush smaller, about 20%. Pop a few in there. It's getting near the end now, I think. Quickly go down these tools here. Actually, we've got like a colour picker, fill, text, so you can put some text on there. Razor, you can crop your picture. You can move stuff. So if I wanted, I guess I could draw a box around those people if I wanted, and choose the move tool and move them around. So that's dead easy. Let's undo that. Do the move tool. I like the way it didn't stay selected. That was cool. You've got symmetry. You've got a sort of a stamp where I can. I assume this. I just hold the Alt key down. That's how it normally works. Pick a color, and then is that doing it? It is, isn't it? It's sort of you can duplicate something or replicate it. Yeah. So there's that. Oh, it did select. Keep it selected. So there's that. Then we've got symmetry where we can, repeat something, sort of draw a nice butterfly. Put the symmetry on. So that's choose the angle of it, I guess. And then paint. Shall we paint? See what we get. Got the blender on. Well, that's not working, is it? How does that work? I need to know now. Select that, pop that on, I guess. Do I and draw? That's it. So I can do a nice butterfly or whatever. So there's that. If you're into something, again, I use very, very rare. Switch that off at the top there, I guess. Go back to painting. So yeah, there's not got a hand that just moves the canvas, but you can do that by holding the space bar down. That's how I normally do it. Zoom in again. I hold the control and the space bar to zoom and rotate. That might be useful. You've got a rotation angle at the top, so I can put naught in. I'm sure there's a shortcut key to get it back to so it's square again. And you've got two colors that you can swap. So that's interesting. I guess you can keep two colors going. What's this for? Just your paper texture. So I guess does that change when? Oh, I'm still in rotate. Back to naught. Go up to paint. What I was looking at now. That texture. So I'm wondering if we change that, it changes. I think it does. Let's keep this reasonably tight. I don't know how many undos there are on this. Am I going to go back to keep going back? No. Oh, man. Why? Oh, got this alternate colour thing selected. That's why. Okay, so that can be useful and it can be confusing, I guess. I was looking at this. What's it here? Just wanted to see if it changes. If I make the brush really big, I can just quickly see if that. I'll tell you which brush to use for this. The mop. Let's use that brush. It does look. Can you see? I've got the dots. There's the texture. So I can change it to. Let's go a really dark colour and go back to the dots. You can see better. Let's undo it again. No, it's not working. Oh, there you go. It's gone back to that light colour. Now is it going to change? I wish I hadn't touched this. This is freaking me out, man. There. Can you see the pattern now around that? You have to put quite a bit of pressure on. So, yeah, there's that. Or if I go to a totally different texture, see around the edge, it's rougher. So, yeah, it's interesting. So that's the kind of the tools that you've got going off there. And at the top, you've got, I guess this is wood paint. Point to point, yeah. Okay, if you want to paint fence post or something, or a ship mast, something like that, might be okay. I'll go to the free one, and then I've already looked at all the others. That'll be reset your brush. So it is kind of very trimmed down. Effects, what have you got as effects? Apply lighting, I wonder what that does. Apply surface texture. I've got to click it. Oh, okay. So you can adjust if you've got thick paint, I suppose, and your canvas is showing up. And we can we up the brightness? Let's just do this. Let's just see what we get. Ambient. We could add a colour tone to it as well. Put a blue cast to it. Not quite as blue as that. A lot more like that. Okay, elevation is that? I don't know what that is. I don't know if that shows more of the texture. And oh, ambient lighting. Maybe this is the one I should have fiddled with. Get that back to white. Yes, let's try that. Click on OK. You know what? I think I need to merge that down to the canvas. Oops, wrong button. Collapse layers. Let's go up here, find it. Layer. Collapse layers. That's it. Now let's do that lighting again. I just want to see what it does. Apply lighting. Oh, now we can see. Oh, Well, I've never seen that on anything other than like a photo app. Don't really want to adjust the exposure because it burns out all of the painting. What was that? Set at 1? That normal? I guess so. Distance. I see. Can brightness. Let's have if I put a kind of a warm colour there. I don't know why I'm getting carried away with this. It's not where I thought I would be. That's quite interesting. So, shall we do it? Let's. Oh. That's quite cool. And then I could just grab some lighter colour again. Just a very pale. Come around this side a bit. Oh, got this frigging colour thing mixed up now. Just pop some highlights back in, maybe. Interesting feature. Never seen that before. Wonder if that's in Corel Painter as well. That would take a lot of effort to get that back to normal, so I'm hoping I'm going to be able to undo that. Oh no, I've gone too many times. Should have duplicated the layer. Well, I'm going to speed it up a bit and just get something back, just to add the highlights in. Oh, I'm back, and I think I've salvaged my painting. And I tell you what, I know I thought, oh god, I've got to do all that again. But I really actually like the fact that we've got these lovely purpley mauve colours next to the green. I think it works really well. So I'm kind of glad I did that, and then I had to go over it and bring the highlights back. So yeah, Corel Painter Essentials 8. Got to watch out for the undo. I don't know if you can adjust it. You might be able to change that and give yourself more undos. But at the minute, I could have crashed and burned then. Let's just get this signed. I'm not so sure. If you want to get into Corel Painter, it doesn't feel that much like Corel Painter to me, apart from this little brush tool menu going off here. The rest of it feels a bit different. I'm not overly impressed with the oil brushes, but I am going to do a little demo with the watercolors and the pencils and stuff just to see if I like those. But it's only £35, and it feels nice. It's all right. It's okay, but it's just okay. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, a big thumbs up as always is much appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I've got lots of videos like this, and I would love to be sharing them all with you. So don't forget, everybody, stay safe, stay sane, and keep painting. And hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.